What if the courage that you need isn't about feeling fearless, but about understanding what courage is, where it comes from, and how to develop it? This transformational Bible study is on courage, and I'm glad you're here. Now, really, becoming a courageous or a brave person is easier than you may think. I have a friend who said yes to a work project that terrified them. They told me that they felt overwhelmed, not qualified, and really like it was just over their head. And in fact, they were almost to quit and say, I can't do this, I don't want to be part of it. But when I talked to them, I explained that the fear they were feeling was actually normal and gave them some pointers about how to move forward with courage and be confident as they did. Are you facing a work situation like this? Maybe your work's okay. It might be a relationship or a health challenge that's causing you fear, anxiety, or stress or something like that, and you need courage to face that. Well, today that's what we're talking about in this Bible study is how do you find that courage? Where do you find it, and how do you develop it so that you can face those major obstacles and move forward? See, courage isn't the absence of fear, it's the ability to move forward in the face of fear and still make progress. The Bible is full of examples of normal people who exhibited extraordinary faith. Joshua was told to be strong and courageous, and I love that passage. It taught me a lot, but it didn't really teach me how to be courageous. Now, David, when he faced Goliath, that is an incredible story, and I did learn from that, but it's not the passage that really transformed my thinking and how I view courage and how I developed courage. The passage that I found this gem in is actually a seemingly disconnected passage that when I started studying it, boom, the lights went on and I just started making a whole lot of connections and it helped me tremendously. I think it's going to help you as well. So as I read this passage, stay with me and I will explain. Seeing that His divine power has granted to us all things that pertain to life and godliness through the knowledge of Him who called us by His own glory and virtue, by which He has granted to us His precious and exceedingly great promises, that through these you may become partakers of the divine nature, having escaped from the corruption that is in the world by lust. Yes, and for this very cause, adding on your part all diligence, in your faith supply moral excellence, and in moral excellence, knowledge. As I was studying these Bible verses, I discovered this Greek word that blew my mind. It helped me understand courage and bravery in a whole new way, and just took my understanding to a new level. And I think it's going to do the same thing for you. So the Greek word is erate, Strong's number 703, if you want to look it up and study it more in depth yourself. It occurs 3 times in these verses, and the Web version translates it virtue the first time and moral excellence the second and third time. Now, you're probably like me. I had this idea, this understanding that this word simply meant to be good or to have moral integrity, but there is so much more to this word. I'm only focusing on one aspect of the meaning of this word and one thing that the Apostle Peter was telling us in this video. It's this: brave, valiant, and courageous. Yep. The word for moral excellence also means valiant or courage. Now, if you want to know the rest of the meanings of this Greek word and how they play in and what they mean, then you're going to have to subscribe and turn on the notifications so you don't miss the upcoming videos. Now, if you go back and you read 2 Peter chapter 1, verses 3 through 5, with brave, valiant, and courage in mind, you're probably going to come to a similar realization that I did. These things come from God. Valiant, brave, courageous, that comes from God. And God has already made this available to us through our relationship with Jesus Christ. Courage isn't something that comes with birth. It's not a talent like music. It doesn't depend on our intellectual energies or on the lack of emotions like fear. Courage and being valiant comes from God. And what He tells us is to take what He's given us and develop it and make it something that's strong and add it to our faith. So the question is, how do we do that? You practice. Yes, it's really that simple. If you want to become a courageous man or woman of God who can face any situation in life, no matter how difficult or how fearful it may be, then you want to stay tuned because I'm about to give you my 5-step process or recipe for becoming strong in courage, becoming valiant, becoming brave. This is the steps. First, we have to ask. Ask the Holy Spirit to give us the valor, the courage, the bravery that we need to face any situation. So here is just a real simple example prayer for you. This is something I would pray. Holy Spirit, please give me the courage that I need to face this situation. Be with me and strengthen me as I take what you give me and this valor, this courage, and add to that my effort and really face this fearful situation. Be with me and strengthen me as I add valor to my faith. Then identify. Identify something small that causes you fear, anxiety, or stress, and label that so you know exactly what it is. Then you want to reframe that. Look at that situation and turn your thoughts around. Change your thoughts about it. This thing isn't something that stops me or prohibits me. This is my opportunity to grow, to develop, and to achieve in an area that I previously haven't been able to. This is my opportunity to grow and develop more courage through this situation. So when you're reframing this, you're changing the way you think about it. And I like to use self-talk scripts to be able to do this. So I take a Bible verse and I use that Bible verse to speak to myself to overcome something. So I may do something like this. God has not given me a spirit of fear. Therefore, I will face this fearful thing with courage, and I will grow and develop courage and valor in the process. After you reframe it, then practice. As you intentionally practice facing these little fears, meeting them head on, stepping out in faith, and doing it, addressing that thing, then you will grow and develop courage and valor. Now, I want you to remember that you're practicing, which means that sometimes you're going to fail. Sometimes you're going to stumble and it's not going to go well. That's okay because this is practice, right? That's why you pick a small thing and you step forward and you address that small thing, you do that small thing, and that creates the practice that you need to develop the courage to face the big things. So as you practice, remember, even when you fail, you're still developing courage and valor because you had the courage to step forward and try and face that fear. That is a developmental process that failure can't take away from you. And finally, reflect on your experience. Every time you step out and face a fear, face something that requires you to have courage, take mental note. Reflect on that and think about, how did I feel when I achieved that? Or sometimes even when I didn't achieve it, but you stepped forward. How did you feel? Did your courage grow? And when you look back over time and you see that I am a courageous person because I do step forward and face things that maybe I'm scared of or maybe cause me anxiety, that's going to reinforce the learning and the growth that courage brings. Then give thanks to the Lord, because He's the one that actually gives you the courage and helps you develop that in practical ways. So I hope this video is helpful for you. Drop me a note and let me know what fearful, anxious thing that you're working on and developing courage and valor in the process, because I would love to pray for you.